Hi there, this is Alan. I've got a website, details below. Right, just a quick thing. What I'm going to be doing over the sort of future, and that is that I'll be building up little clips of how I go about making my canvases. This is the first time I've just made my first. We'll say I work with m.d.f, which is a, let's see if I can remember, medium density fibre board, which is it's just basically loads of layers of sort of wood material compressed into this substance that's it's waterproof. However, it can get water saturated unless you seal it, and when it gets saturated it sort of sponges out and it goes off thing. But a lot of furniture is made out of it, out of this m.d.f, so if it's treated it'll stay stable for you. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm just going to stop it in a minute, change the camera angle, and I'm just going to show you how I do, how I'm going to go about making the base layer on this canvas. Okay, right, speak to you in a bit. Right, I'm back again. Now then, here's my board. What I first did was I had the m.d.f cut to size. I then covered it with some wallpaper paste and old newspapers. So no doubt you can just see that the thing underneath. Then I took a stencil and, using ordinary filler, which is going out shot, it's just this kind of gloopy stuff. It's from the builders, repair texture, perfect repairing damaged textured ceilings and walls, easy to use straight from the tub, dries to a white finish, so no need to paint. And then what it is, it's like this. Now what I tend to do with it is, when I get the tub, I take half of it out and then I just I bought a really cheap gesso. Trust me, you can get good gessos and you can get cheap gessos. So what I do is I tend to put just a little bit of the cheap gesso in here, mix it up so it goes a little bit watery, a bit more sort of a watery substance, but it does give it that sort of, it has got that little bit of gesso inside it, so it's a lot easier, a bit more stable. Now, how am I going to do? I've decided I'm using three shades of red, three shades of green. These came in a set. I think there was about 10, and they'd work out about, well here it was under £5, so $7 for that thing, but they're an alright size. And these are ones from Liquitex, the basic range. As I say, they're the basics, but they're very good and they're very cheap. So, armed with my water spray, which is just an old, well, there you go, that's what it was. And it's, instead of throwing it away, I've filled it with water. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give the board a little bit of a splash. I want to do that so that when I come to be mixing my paints, the paint just doesn't soak into one area. Because it's got a bit of water, it can it's a lot easier to be moved around. So on there, and if you hear a noise, there's two of our cats sat on the window ledge trying to chat up a blackbird that's the other side of the window. So there we go, a bit of green there, and let's just put a little bit of green at the bottom. So I've got three dollops of green, little squirt, so that it gets them. So as you can see, they've started to, if you can see a little bit, I'll bring it up, they've started to, maybe that's better, can you see how they started to, the water started to activate them, so it'll be a lot easier then to move it around. So put that there. Now then, let's just, I'm not being overly fussy about what I do and how I do it. it's all about getting paint onto the canvas. Now I want to change colour, so where's my rag? My trusty piece of cotton for just removing a lot of the paint off. Although this is a bit thicker, but here we go. Just mixing that in, not forgetting the edges. Let's just go. Now, because what I will do later is that I will take a baby wipe to it, and I will mix it about a bit more with the baby wipe. So let's just get that off. And then the final colour is this one here. This is the more expensive one of the two. You can tell straight away with the colour and the way that it's covering, it's a lot better than the other two. But they're all going to do the same job. Now then, I think I've mixed that as much as I'm going to now. So there we go. Not forgetting the bottom. There we are. Now clean the brush. Now, next step. Water. Let's just get a lot of water down and then start to play. As you can see, it's dripping. I can control where I want it to go. If I want a bit more water up there, then get a bit more water there. Let's get that right. I'm liking the way that that's going, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it, if I can, propped up. Let me get a kitchen towel to just catch the bottom because I don't want it running everywhere. So let's just leave that there. Let it drip a bit more. Right, I'll see if I can bring the camera around, so bear with me for this. Right. Because I want to show you what's happening. So can you see how the water, because I've put the water on, I can add a bit more, just, you know, you're in control. So, can you see how by not doing any work at all, I'm letting the water do the work for me? So that's not really in the centre, is it? So if I pull that there like that, you have a bit better idea. So I'm letting the water do it. Now this is where it's going to get noisy, because armed with my trusty hairdryer, I'm going to try and stop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and stop the water from, you know, going and splodging all the way. So I'm going to leave it like there now for a bit. So, right, well, let me just move the camera back. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to leave it here, and I'm just going to let it dry now on its own. I'm quite happy that I've managed to stop the water from going from where it's going, you know, like all the way down, and moving all the paint from here. As you can see, there's some nice areas. But right, what I'll do is I'll stop the video now. Then what we'll do is that I'll start it up again, and we'll talk about it when it's dry, and I can show you in more detail about what's happened. Right, now then, as I said, right, I'm back again. As promised, I said that once it's dry, I'll let you have a good proper look. So I'm just going to sort of try and zoom in a bit, so I can show you what it looks like. What I'm trying to do by doing this, it sort of gives you an idea close up of how the paint and the water has reacted, and it's created this brilliant surface that I can then build up on. So with just very little effort, I've been able to make, this base layer artifact. So I'm now ready to take it on to the next level. So what I'll do is that when I sort of feel I know what I'm doing, I can't sit there or stand there and do the work and just blast it out. With me, when it hits me, that's when I do the work. You can't force art. So don't try and force it, because if you do, you'll not get a result that you're pleased with. So let it come naturally. If you don't feel like doing it, walk away from it. Do something else. Come back to it later. Don't rush it. This is a project. It's not going anywhere. It hasn't got legs. It's not going to run out of the room. So if you don't feel in the mood, don't bother. Go back, do something else. It'll still be there for when you're ready and you want to do something and be creative. Okay, right, thanks very much indeed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this uploaded ASAP, and I'll think about what I'm going to do next. Okay, look after each other and keep sharing the knowledge. Okay, bye-bye.